Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. Wanted to, of course, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Our show tonight is Rockin' Recovery. Rockin' Recovery is going to be an event that's taking place October the 7th, 2017. It's going to be at The Place. It's located at 2265 Dixie Highway, Jensen Beach, Florida, and that's 34957. Come join Rockers in Recovery for some sober and clean rock and roll fun and fellowship. 8 p.m. starts out the show with Sobriety Unplugged. It's a Chicago-style in the round, unplugged, featuring 4 singer-songwriters, Paul Wilson, Matt Wilkoff, Michael Mostel, and Jeffrey Montana. So we're looking forward to the Unplugged set, but we're also looking forward to the 9 o'clock band, Joe Antonelli's Funky Math, with the RAR All-Star band members, Anthony Fellows, and some other folks, Maria Doughty and Sammy, and some great players and other folks that are going to come out and join the band. This event is, of course, supporting the Place nonprofit, and again, that is located in Jensen Beach. The club is for people that are in recovery to come and hang out and to fellowship in a safe place. And the person behind all of this is Cynthia, and we're going to bring Cynthia on the line right now. Cynthia, thank you for being on the show and being a part of Rockers in Recovery.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good.
You have
hey,
me?
Listen,
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. Hey, listen,
Good.
Cynthia, I got to ask you a question. You know,
what would that
you've been
be?
You've been around the recovery community, and you know this was sponsored by an organization that you are a part of, and that's Just Believe Recovery. So that way, they could put this event on and raise some money for the Place, which is a nonprofit. First, let the audience know who you are and what you do at Just Believe.
Well, my name is Cindy, and I am the founder, owner, and CEO of Just Believe Recovery Centers in Florida and in Pennsylvania. And what I have the privilege to do is to be part of hundreds of people who are changing up their lives and let us be part of their beginning of their journey in recovery. So I'm a very fortunate person, very fortunate person.
And the cool part about Cindy is a couple of different things. First of all, Cindy was just a part of the Wilkes-Barre event that we did up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, September, in the beginning part of September. And one of the things that I was able to do was go up to her Pennsylvania location, and they put together a cool little place to hang out, and it's called The Hangout. And we played a little bit there, and we had a little meet and greet there, and it was a really, really cool environment. So you're really structuring not only somebody going into recovery and getting the help, but you're also putting places like this in place, like The Place in Jensen Beach, to be able to help them after they get out of recovery, to go somewhere safe and to have a place to go, correct?
Oh, yeah. Well, life doesn't stop when you decide to put down the drugs and the alcohol. Life begins when you put down the drugs and the alcohol. And, I haven't changed much except for I'm drug and alcohol free, and I don't make a lot of mistakes that I used to make in my life. But I enjoy having fun, and I love music, and, I like to go somewhere where I know that I can go there, be comfortable with other people that are there enjoying themselves and be drug and alcohol free. That's the only difference. And our clubs, the Place down in Jensen Beach, Florida, and the Hangout up here, it's a drug and alcohol-free environment. And, I just love what you do, John. You know that. We had a ball down in Wilkes-Barre, and I'm looking forward to the event coming up at the Place, and the one you also have another one going on down there in Florida around the same time. And a lot of people are coming out for these and understanding that, we enjoy life. It doesn't stop, and thanks to you and what you've been putting together and working hard at for many years, we have an opportunity to go out and see some good bands and enjoy the time and the bbest part of it is I remember all of it the next day. Isn't that amazing? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there wasn't, back in the day, there wasn't too many that I remembered,
No. All the concerts and everything else. It's like I was there, I think. It's like, boy. And you know what? We just had such a good time when you were up here. And like I said, I appreciate everything you do for people in recovery. And we're talking about doing some future things, and I'm excited about a whole bunch of stuff in my life. But the place and the hangout is actually sponsored by my non-for-profit, which is a Pocket Full of Hope. And that has, and what we do is fully self-supporting is what we aim for. There's usually not too many profits made out of either one of those. We're not looking for that. We're looking to break even and being able to have a place for people to go to. Now, as you know, up here in Carbondale, under the Pocket Full of Hope, I'm getting ready to open up a woman and children's center. And hopefully it's the first of many throughout the United States. And that's under the non-for-profit. And we're getting ready to do a big fundraiser on that. Actually, the building I got handed was really nice. Thank you very much for the building. But it's going to take me $2.5 million to put it into where it's supposed to do the program for the women and children. And the importance of that is, yes, we all know we have a drug and alcohol problem out there. Surprise, I've been around for a long time. But it's more than that. It's a disease of our cultures today and stuff. And, it's a lot more. So what we're trying to do is to go back. Once people are clean, they'll get their children back with them and go to a program and actually stay there from 6 months to 2 years and leave there without being on welfare, having a job, having some college education, and getting on with their life and making better choices, and having a family unit with what you have to start with. And most of the time it's a single parent with a couple of children. And that's fine, as long as you teach them things like we were taught, like respect, integrity, and all that good stuff that we don't have in families today. So it takes a lot. It takes a whole lot to change around what's going on out there today. The most important thing is putting down the drugs and the alcohol, as we all know. Without that, nothing's going to be able to happen in your life. But once you do that, anything's possible.
No change is possible. Yeah, when you can't,
right.
if you're not going to stop, then there's no change at all.
No, nothing. You're just going to be miserable, the rest of your life. Nothing's going to change. You know that. We deal and work with people every single day. And I see miracles every day. I just came from an alumni meeting up here down at the Hangout. And it's amazing. You walk in there and you see 50, 60 people, these young people that bonded together in the community and stayed close to each other. And I was telling the one kid tonight, I said, oh, my God, you look so healthy. I said, it's a wonderful feeling to look around, and all the skeletons are gone around here, and you actually see bodies that actually formed into what they're supposed to look like. It's the truth.
Absolutely.
It's like,
absolutely.
It's amazing to see healthy young human beings getting jobs and staying connected to their community. And they're staying here in this town up here. They're coming, they're recovering, and getting jobs here, and they're making homes here, and they're staying connected here. I swear this is going to be a recovery town. I swear it is.
I was just going to say that. We had a conversation the other day, me and you were talking on the phone in regards to how, it's totally grown into something that you never really expected it to be.
No, I never. You know what? I'll tell you something. When God has a plan, He makes it happen. And I've always, I said, if we can do what we're doing here in Carbondale, Pennsylvania, as a recovery community, and we can set an example for other little towns, make it a drug-free environment, and make sure the drugs, we keep them away from us, we keep them, out of our town in time. It's going to take a little longer than, what we've been doing, but we're only here a short period of time, and the change is unbelievable. That we can set a preference for other little towns and cities throughout the United States, that if we can do this here, you can do that there. But, you have to get rid of, I remember coming here and fighting to get the center open up here, and it was like not my backyard nonsense. And it's like the people that they didn't want here are the ones that are actually changing up this town. It's just amazing.
And it's, you know what's ridiculous with that statement is they're the first ones to have a problem with somebody that's homeless, the homeless population, and mental health issues that they have, plus the addiction issues. And they're the first ones to, talk about them standing on corners and all that. But if you have an organization that comes in and tries to help that situation, they don't want them there either. So it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Listen, that's where we go back to, yes, we know we have a drug and alcohol problem. We have a society problem. Self-centeredness doesn't just run rapid inside of the addicts and alcoholics and active addiction. It runs rapid inside of people in society at large because they live in fear. And there's nothing to fear. You can't live like that, and it's a big problem out there, and no medical assisted treatment is going to change this. Yeah,
and something I think that when you look at the big picture of, let's just use the example of what we're getting ready to do next Saturday night. When you can bring all kinds of different people together under one roof and you can put music behind that, the dialogue begins. So that means that if you're in the area of Jensen Beach and you're not in recovery, you're welcome too. This isn't just closed to people in recovery. This is an open-door policy. Come out and hang out and see what the face of recovery looks like. And that's part of the issue that we need to address, is that people need to see what recovery looks like. And if they're not seeing that, then they have the boogeymen in the closet, that period that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, most of them have boogeymen. Yeah, they do. I don't care. I'll say it. I don't care. It's easy. When I was using and I was in my active addiction, I found fault with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't want to take a look at myself. Today, I look at even the ones that I know, I look at them and it's like, you got some good in there. I know you do. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Because I know that my soul was gone and it came back and it lights up my whole entire being. And I believe anybody can do that, So never point your finger, It's, and always remember where we come from. And that's what I love about you. You're very humble and you don't forget where your roots come from. And we're doing something for the real purpose of doing it. And that's what makes it so worth doing it,
I appreciate that. And one of the things that I've always consistently understood is that all glory goes to God, because at my best, they should be throwing Twinkies at me.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, how would you like to be me? I look up at the dude and I say to him, really? What was making you think to pick me for this job? It's like, wow. But then somebody pointed out very nicely to me that in the Bible, apparently, everybody that he used to change things or to bring people together were broken. And that made sense to me. We're perfectly broken. And you know what? If we're not perfectly broken, we're like a closed vessel. The light can't shine through. So thank you for my cracks, God. And thank you that, you never make me callous, and the light can shine through all my little broken parts, And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for it all. I wouldn't change anything. And believe me, I'm not proud of a lot of stuff in my long ago, past. But you know what? If I got an opportunity to say, would you change any of that? I'd have to be honest and say no. Because I'd be afraid to. Because it's a journey that I had to follow. I have a Harvard education in addiction. Okay? That's what I have.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They can't teach you this at Harvard.
No.
They can't teach you compassion. They can't teach you to love unconditionally. They can't teach you common sense anywhere at any school. And, and those were the blessings that I was given by coming into recovery and changing everything. And believe me, I'm not an easy person to persuade to change anything. I had to change everything. And I swear, you hear the people say this all the time, if I could do it, you can. But I'm telling you, if he can work in my life the way he did, I'm still amazed on a daily basis.
It's good stuff. Again, folks, if you're listening tonight, Cindy, of course, Joe Antonelli, Matt Wilcoff, Paul Wilson, myself, and lots of other people are going to be over at the place in Jensen Beach. That address is 2265 Dixie Highway, Jensen Beach, Florida. 34957 is the zip. You want to throw it into your, of course, Google Maps. Come join Rockers in Recovery for sober and clean rock and roll fun and fellowship. And, again, this is the benefit. It is a $10 charge to get in. Please, folks, come on out and donate that $10 to come on in the door. It's going to help the place. It is a nonprofit, which is located in Jensen Beach. The club is for people in recovery to come and hang out and fellowship in a safe environment. So we look forward to having everybody there. Cynthia, I'm going to let you go. We got our next guest on the line, and I want to thank you for being a part of Rockers in Recovery and all your support that you've given us over the years. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.
You got it, John. All the love. Take care.
All the love to you, too. Thank you, Cynthia. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Let's go to the phones. Who am I speaking with?
Matt Wilcoff.
Matt, you're the bomb, brother. What are you doing, man?
Just chilling, smoking a cigarette, calling you, buddy. What's happening?
Hey, listen. Matt's going to be playing also at Rockin' Recovery, 8 p.m. October 7th in Jensen Beach at the place. And also we have a few other people. Hold on one second. Who am I speaking to now?
Hey, we got Joe Zapp, Joe Antonelli.
Joe Zapp. Joe Zapp's also going to be playing at the Rockin' Recovery, 8 p.m. October 7th in Jensen Beach at the place. And I got a feeling this last number that popped up here is Paul Wilson. Paul Wilson, welcome to your show, bro.
Hey, how you doing, John?
All right. Hey, listen, we're going to make this simple. Man. I'm going to ask questions to each one of you guys, so that way we're not stepping all over each other, and we'll go from there. Matt, I want to start out with you first. You know, Matt's got a great band, the Wilcoff Project, and they're amazing. So if you get a chance and you see them out there, or you see an event for them, man, go check them out. They are amazing. And one of the things that I want to ask Matt about, because it was very kind of cool, Matt did a Sobriety Unplugged event for Paul Wilson, and he did an unplugged thing. He hadn't done one. And he was like he was just shocked about how easy it came to him, but it was most importantly what the message was, Matt, that you gave out to other people. It was amazing. So you doing the Sobriety Unplugged Chicago style this coming, next Saturday. How do you feel about doing it now? It's a little bit different than the first time you did it at Paul's.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, usually, I'm backed by loud drums and bass and play electric guitar, and I kind of hide behind that. Not hide behind it, but you know what I mean. It's easy to do, and to sit there, it's very intimate when you're just with an acoustic guitar and just singing. And at first I was just kind of nervous about it, and to try to transpose my stuff into an acoustic situation, unplugged like that. And I'm actually looking forward to it. When you asked me to do it, I mean, I didn't even hesitate. Like, yes, absolutely. I think it gets the message across a lot easier. People can get distracted by, screaming electric guitars, and I sing really aggressively when the message is there, but doing it like that where you can really just connect with the person, I can connect with people and look at, there's no lights going, and I'm really looking forward to it, because the purpose of the music is to be inspiring and to share my message of, how I got sober. That's what all my songs are about, and that's the idea of it. It isn't about just, how fast I can play guitar or how loud it, you know what I mean? That's what I grew up with, and I like it. But it's the purpose of my music is to show that, there is hope. Like I was hopeless. I was in a seemingly hopeless condition. You know, did heroin for a very long time and been through the ringer, prison, jail, institutions, and I was, you know, through my higher power, I overcame that with his help, of course, and my willingness to change. And music is a very powerful outlet and a very powerful medium that people really connect with. And I think it's a good you know, canvas to be able to share with people. And so doing the acoustic version, I really enjoy. I'm really looking forward to it. And plus, you know, Paul's awesome. I don't know who's the other guy on the phone. Joey, what's his name?
Joe Antonelli. Joe Zepp. Joe Zepp is the best, man.
I don't know him, but I'm looking forward to it. And Paul's always enjoyable.
Dude, I checked out your Facebook page today and your music and some of your videos. You guys are great. You're killing it out there, man.
Thank you. I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff, and it's not just it's not just recovery. I mean, it is recovery. Like my message and my lifestyle promotes recovery, and we're playing in all different kinds of places. And I'd struggle with that for a little bit. Was I going to play in, you know, bars or all that kind of stuff? And you know what? It's like I said, my lifestyle promotes it. And if you know, people will ask me what it's about, I tell them. You know, it's all about God and my recovery, and I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. If you look at my page, I'm not shy about saying what it's about. And there's a lot of people who like my band that are not. I don't want to alienate anybody. I don't want to just like, oh, we're just strictly recovery. If you're not in recovery, don't listen to my music. I don't want to do that. I want to, because there might be someone out there that's on the fence that might be struggling. Like, hey, there might be something to this, so it reaches everybody. I don't want to alienate anyone. So, but thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
You know, it's funny, man. When you wake up in the morning and Joe Zepp calls you on the phone, right? You get to experience your day with a laugh. So this morning he calls me up and he says to me, "Hey, John, did you hear about Hugh Hefner dying?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard all about that." And he goes, "You think he's in a better place?" So that being said.
That's funny.
I said to myself, I'm going to start my day with a laugh here and move on. Thank you, Giuseppe. Paul, let's bring you into the conversation here. And what do you think of the
listen, man, I'm just having fun listening to you guys. What'd you say? I'm having a good time listening to you guys.
Well, what do you think of the whole, you know, what elaborate on what Matt just talked about? Because I think that, you know.
Oh, man, it's just, I was enjoying, I was loving it so much because it's so true, man. We get to, you know, I play with a band, you know, some too, but I really love doing the unplugged stuff, and we get to share our soul, you know, and we actually get to open up and let people see inside when we're doing that, you know, and it's an intimate situation, an intimate place, you know, it's you and the guitar. You're carrying your message of your sobriety, you know, your spirit, your love, you know, your good times, your bad times, and it's just a great format. And I love doing it in the Chicago, as you call it, Chicago style. I call it Nashville style. Tells you where you're from, but you know, in the round with multiple singer songwriters on the stage at the same time, sharing their songs and their stories with each other, and it's a massive amount of tremendous singer-songwriter talent in South Florida, and we just got some really, really good guys doing this set this time. You know, I'm really looking forward to this one. This is going to be great. I get to share the stage with Matt again, and with my buddy Mike Bostell, and with Jeffrey Montoya. You know, and then the Rockers are going to come on after us. It's going to be a great night, and I got some people coming in I haven't seen for a while that live up there, so it's going to be cool.
If you're tuning in right now, it's Rockin' Recovery, 8 p.m., October 7th in Jensen Beach. You can come hang out with, of course, all of us at 2265 Dixie Highway, Jensen Beach, Florida. And you can find out more by going to rockersandrecovery.com. On the right-hand side, you can click on the event. It's right there. You can't miss it. It says The Place. Come on out. And, of course, Joe, let's talk about Funky Math. Tell me about
yes,
Funky
sir.
Math, Joe.
You know, as a reflection, basically, in what you guys were saying, and especially about, you know, the recovery thing, here I am playing around with a lot of different bands, being this kind of hired gun kind of thing. And I guess the best way I can say it is that through my recovery, my senses have been heightened to the point where when there's like, I don't know, I don't even want to say phony, but sort of just like that kind of vibe that comes across with musicians, you know, and I'm really super sensitive to it now. So when I stop like kind of enjoying it or really feeling the person that I'm playing with, you know, it's kind of not any real fun. So what happened with this was that, you know, I basically got to the place where I said, you know, I wanted to start something, you know, that I'm a part of, not so much as a hired guy, but, you know, something that I can create myself. I play with this guy Dave Scott up here. We do these open jams, and Dave's basically a world-class player, and we attract a lot of talent coming up and sitting in with us. So there's this guy Jack Foley that I just met, and he plays bass, and we kind of started playing together, and we just hit it off. I mean, just like as friends, and you know, we just laugh all the time. And the guy is great. And I had this other friend who I kind of work with, named Robert, him and I actually auditioned for a couple of different projects together, and we would probably, you know, in the back of our minds, always wanted to work together. So I came up with this idea of let's put the three of us in a room. The guys came over my house, and honestly, from note one, you know, we just lit up. We just lit up, and we blew through probably 25 songs that first day, and just laughing and talking and whatever. And the next thing you know, Robert came up with the name, and we went into the studio a friend of mine has, and we laid some cover songs down just to do this like sort of promotional video and joking around with that. And it's just a really, really cool, positive thing. So this is it's actually our debut Saturday.
Oh, cool.
And we're really looking forward to it. And, you know, the thing about it is like I said, like I think the energy, the interaction between us is really kind of, you know, people are going to catch on to it. It's sort of, you know, it's something that you can feel. I mean, at least I know I can. And, you know, it's a power trio. It's a trio, and we're going to do a lot of different stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, anywhere from Cream to the Foo Fighters. And basically, we also, and this is a fairly new project, a couple of months, but we're also starting to write our own material already. And again, anybody who's a practicing musician, much less a semi-professional musician or a professional musician, knows that to get that fluidity through to each other, it doesn't always happen. It's usually one guy that writes the songs, and the rest of the guys are told what to play. And what's happening with us is sort of, it's just a natural kind of occurring thing. So I'm really super excited about it, and it's taking on an energy of its own. And you know, in speaking with you, John, and you inviting us to do this, you know, and it being our debut, it just makes perfect sense, you know, that this is what's going to happen, because my relationship with you and Rockers in Recovery and all of that has been so positive and so good for me, you know, in the sense of, you know, being a musician and being able to get this message out through the medium that we're so passionate about. And, you know, I mean, you know, I can talk and I can tell jokes, and we can, you know, and I can cook and I can do a lot of things, but playing music.
Yeah, he can cook too, but.
Oh, I can cook. I can jack up the kitchen now. But playing music, I think more of me, the real me, is present than in any other thing that I do. So, you know, then, you know, this concept, Rockers in Recovery, it basically speaks to that and allows the message to be broadcast or, you know, amplified, to use a better term, you know, to people. And, you know, the other aspect of this that occurs to me is that, like, you know, 20 years ago, if I would have known that how cool, you know, it is and how great it feels, you know, maybe there's a guy out there that's still in the bars and still, I mean, listen, I'd have a 6-pack of beer, on the way to the gig, and and by the end of the gig, around my drum set, I'd have 12 empty drinks, and then wanting to drink even more afterwards, and maybe there's somebody out there that's just as tired of that as I was, and could say to himself, hey, look at this, this might be cool. I mean, So yeah, Funky Matt's it's going to be something that people are going to relate to, because we just have a lot of fun, really, really a lot of fun. That's the main thing. So
beautiful thing, Joe. Listen,
yeah.
Joe, I appreciate, again, between you, Matt, Paul, Cindy, for helping us put this thing on, and all the rest of the folks that are a part of Rockers in Recovery, like Anthony Fellows, who's coming out. He's part of the Rockers in Recovery original all-star band. He's going to come out and play a couple of songs, and we got Maria Dottie, we got Sammy coming. There's a whole bunch of folks coming out to support this thing. So if you're in the area, Rockin' Recovery, 8 p.m. October 7th in Jensen Beach at The Place. The Place is a club where people can go in recovery and come hang out and fellowship, and it's in a safe environment. Really cool place. It is a nonprofit. It's located at 2265 Dixie Highway, Jensen Beach, Florida, 34957. Put it into MapQuest and find your way, or your GPS. And most importantly, we got the opportunity to carry a message of hope. And in closing, Paul Wilson. I want to thank Paul Wilson publicly right now, because Paul has been a huge supporter of Rockers in Recovery since almost the beginning of Rockers in Recovery. And he is tirelessly and endlessly traveling across the country with us and doing things and helping set up and always being there for Rockers in Recovery and for myself personally in my personal recovery. It took me and Paul going to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania to make our first meeting together. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, all these years.
But while we were up there, we went and hung out. We caught a meeting, and it was kind of cool, and we had a great time. And
yeah.
But again, Paul, thank you so much for everything that you do. And in closing, give us a little bit about Sobriety Unplugged, and what you feel on your recovery music aspect.
Okay, well, it's Sobriety Unplugged. It's a Sobriety Unplugged side of Rockers in Recovery. We're doing the Unplugged events like we're doing for this, and and the bottom line is I'm just an old guy that found a spot where I could share my recovery. And John, you say it better than anybody. We talked about it up in Wilkes-Barre. What we're doing, putting these events on, and like Joe was saying, Matt was saying about having a good time. We're showing the other side. All we hear about now is the people dying of the heroin addictions and the overdoses and everything. We are showing them this is recovery. The chicks are hot. The music is loud. We're having fun. This is what recovery is all about, man. Okay? We're laughing, we're joking, we're having a good time, but we're dead serious about knowing where we can go on the other side. But everybody that wants it, everybody that will give it a chance, give it a shot, just for a minute, can come to our side and have this, and that's what we're doing. We're showing them the true face of recovery, and it's a great thing, man, what you've been doing for all these years, and I thank you for giving me a spot, giving me a place that enhances my recovery and through my music and through my soul. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing, and all the great guys that come aboard for the gigs and for the shows and for the festivals, and everybody puts a lot of time and energy into this, and it's all just to give back, and to enjoy ourselves and enjoy our recovery and enjoy our lives, man. We've all been blessed to be able to get here. Every one of us have been just truly, truly blessed to get here. So thanks, John.
It's the bomb, brother. That's Paul Wilson. That's why, that's why on most days I'm not crazy, because I call him 3 times a day. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, right.
So, and when I am crazy, we get crazy together.
There you go.
So, listen, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank, of course, Matt for being on tonight. I want to thank Joe Antonelli, and I also want to thank Paul Wilson. Cynthia, at the beginning of the show, eloquently telling us about how this all works and what she does and how she does it. A great lady, and she gives a lot to the communities like you all do. I want to thank you all for being on Rockers and Recovery Radio tonight. We're going to go out with one of Matt's songs, and
cool.
I look forward to, of course, you guys being with me next Saturday. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you,
All right, brother.
thank you, John.
All right, I'll see you guys Saturday,
All right.
man. Looking forward to it.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
See you guys
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, thank you,
All right,
Paul.
bye.
Thanks, Joe. Bye.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. There you go. Rockers in Recovery. We're out for tonight. Here's the deal. Rockin' Recovery. 8 p.m. October 7th in Jensen Beach at the place. $10 charge at the door. It's a donation. You know, if you could, help out the cause. The place is a nonprofit. It's new. It's 2265 Dixie Highway, Jensen Beach, Florida, 34957. Please come out, support the cause. This place is a new club for people in recovery to come hang out and fellowship in a safe place. We're going to be there, Rockers in Recovery. We're going to be there for some sober, clean, rock and roll fun and fellowship. Come on out and check out the show. Starts at 8 o'clock with Sobriety Unplugged. 9 p.m. live band, Joe Antonelli and Funky Math, with special guest Anthony Fellows and friends. We're looking forward to seeing everybody again. Rockin' Recovery, 8 p.m., October 7th in Jensen Beach. God bless everybody. If you need any more information, go to rockersandrecovery.com, and on the right-hand side, you will see the event for Jensen Beach and the upcoming event, November 10th and 11th, down in Pompano Beach. Thanks, guys. We're going to go out with the Wilcoff Project.
When I was dying in the womb of the world, stillborn and dirty, gave my soul up for sale. I'm on a run with the devil.
Rockers in Recovery Radio is based on opinion only and is not meant to treat or diagnose any health or mental health issue of any kind. If you feel you need help for any health-related issues, please contact a physician or mental health professional. The opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily those of Rockers in Recovery.